Amara locked the bedroom door behind her and sank slowly to the floor. Her hands trembled around the Bible resting against her chest. For the first time since marrying into the Adewale family, she felt completely alone. Her husband was missing. His family hated her. And somehow, every disaster in that house always pointed back to her. Downstairs, voices rose again. Busy was crying loudly. Mama Tunde was shouting at one of the security guards. Chief Adewale kept coughing violently. The entire mansion felt cursed. Amara wiped her tears and knelt beside the bed. God, please bring Tunde back safely. Hours passed. Nobody slept. At exactly 3 a.m., Amara suddenly heard another argument downstairs. She stepped quietly out of the room and moved closer to the staircase. Mama Tunde's voice was low but angry.
You said this would only scare them.
Lower your voice. I didn't agree to kidnapping.
Her heartbeat quickened. What if something happens to Tunde? Mama Tunde whispered fearfully. Relax, Kola replied. Once the company transfer is completed, he'll be released. Amara nearly gasped aloud. Company transfer. Released. Before she could process everything, one of the floorboards creaked beneath her foot. Silence. Then Kola looked upward sharply. Who's there? Amara quickly rushed back into the darkness before anyone saw her. Her heart pounded violently as she shut the bedroom door. Oh my God. The next morning, the atmosphere inside the mansion became worse. The kidnappers had sent proof that Tunde was alive. A short video. His hands were tied. His face was bruised. Mama Tunde burst into tears the moment she saw it. My son. Chief Adewale looked shattered. We'll pay whatever they want. But Amara couldn't stop thinking about the conversation she overheard. Kola was involved. She was sure of it. Still, she knew nobody would believe her. Especially not now. Later that afternoon, Amara quietly visited Pastor Daniel. The old pastor listened carefully as she explained everything. You believe the kidnapping is connected to Kola? He asked. Yes. And your mother-in-law knows something? Amara nodded slowly. Pastor Daniel leaned back thoughtfully. Then this situation is deeper than you realize. What should I do? Be careful, he warned. When money and power are involved, people become dangerous. Amara looked worried. But Tunde's life is at risk. Pastor Daniel nodded. Then wisdom is more important than emotions right now. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, tension exploded again. Busy stormed into Amara's room immediately after she returned. Where did you go? Amara remained calm. Church. Busy laughed mockingly. Of course. While everybody is suffering, you're busy acting holy. Amara finally snapped slightly. I'm trying to help. Help. Busy shouted. Since you entered this house, we've had nothing but pain. Mama Tunde suddenly entered behind her. This is not the time for shouting. Busy pointed at Amara angrily. Then tell her to stop pretending. Amara looked directly at Mama Tunde. I know Kola is involved. The room fell silent instantly. Mama Tunde froze. Busy blinked repeatedly. What nonsense are you saying? Busy asked carefully. I overheard both of you talking the night Tunde disappeared. Mama Tunde's face hardened immediately. You were spying on me. You knew something. Amara cried. I knew nothing. Then why were you talking about company transfers? Busy looked confused now. Mommy, what is she talking about? Mama Tunde avoided eye contact. That alone told Amara everything. You knew Kola was planning something, Amara whispered painfully. Mama Tunde suddenly exploded. You think you know everything because you pray? No, I was only trying to protect his family. Busy stared at her mother in shock. Mommy. Mama Tunde looked overwhelmed. Kola said the company was collapsing. He promised he could save us financially if your father signed temporary documents. Amara's chest tightened. But things got out of control, Mama Tunde whispered weakly. You trusted the wrong person, Amara said quietly. Suddenly, another phone call entered. Everybody froze. Mama Tunde answered immediately. The kidnapper's voice sounded colder this time. You have 24 hours left. The call disconnected. Busy burst into tears again. Chief Adewale shouted from downstairs. Where is Kola? Nobody could find him. His phone was switched off. That evening, police officers arrived secretly at the mansion. Amara pulled one officer aside quietly. I know where to start. The officer listened carefully as she explained everything she overheard. Do you have proof? He asked. No. Then we need more. Amara nodded slowly. I get it. Later that night, Mama Tunde entered Amara's room unexpectedly. Her eyes looked swollen from crying. For the first time ever. She looked more weak. Tunde loves you very much, she said softly. Amara stayed silent. Mama Tunde sat down slowly. I never wanted him to marry you. I know. You came from nothing. No connections. No wealth. Just prayers. Amara looked away quietly. I thought you would make him weak. Tears rolled down Mama Tunde's face. But now, I don't even know if my son will survive. The pain in her voice felt real. Very real. Amara sat beside her carefully. We'll find him. Mama Tunde looked at her. After everything we've done to you, why are you still helping us? Amara's eyes filled with tears. Because you're still my family. Mama Tunde broke down crying completely. For the first time since Amara entered that house. The older woman finally saw her heart. The next morning, Amara made a dangerous decision. She secretly went to Kola's office building alone. The receptionist looked nervous. Sir hasn't been around. Amara forced a smile. Can I wait inside? Minutes later, she entered Kola's office quietly. Everything looked rushed. Drawers open. Papers scattered. Then she noticed something strange. A second phone hidden beneath the desk. Her hands trembled as she picked it up. Locked. But messages kept appearing on the screen. Move him tonight. Police pressure increasing. Warehouse route confirmed. Amara's eyes widened. Warehouse. Suddenly, footsteps approached outside. She quickly hid behind the shelf. Two men entered the office. We need to clear everything before tonight, one whispered. And the woman. She knows too much. Amara covered her mouth instantly. Her heart nearly stopped. The men continued searching through files. Kola said if she becomes a problem, handle her. Amara's breathing became shaky. She waited silently until they finally left. The moment the door closed, she rushed out through the back exit and immediately called the police. Within hours, officers traced the warehouse location. Night fell heavily across the city. Police vehicles surrounded an abandoned warehouse near the outskirts quietly. Inside, Tunde sat tied to a chair, bruised and exhausted. Then suddenly, gunshots exploded outside. The kidnappers panicked. Police. Chaos erupted instantly. Tunde struggled against the ropes while men began running everywhere. One kidnapper grabbed Tunde violently. We're dead because of you. Before he could react, police stormed inside. Within minutes, several criminals were arrested. And finally, Tunde was rescued alive. At the police station, the full truth finally came out. Kola had been stealing money from Chief Adewale's company for years. When the company started collapsing, he manipulated Mama Tunde into signing fake financial agreements. But Tunde accidentally discovered suspicious transactions. That was when Kola arranged the kidnapping. Chief Adewale looked devastated. My own business partner. Then the police officer added something shocking. If not for your daughter-in-law, we may never have found him in time. Silence filled the room immediately. Everybody turned slowly toward Amara. Busy lowered her head in shame. Mama Tunde burst into tears again. And Tunde stared at his wife speechlessly. The same woman everybody blamed had just saved his life. If this story is touching your heart already, comment below. Good hearts always win. And don't forget to subscribe because the final part will reveal the emotional moment that changed this family forever.